Hey, Shalawam on the one.
Shalawam.
Misplaced my other glasses, bro. So I gotta wear these. Uh, gonna wait to hey, Shalawam, everybody. Gonna wait for people to come in.
In 1 second.
Well, you coming in real good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, bro? Am I good? Unmute your mic if you're speaking.
Yeah, no doubt. I was trying to adjust my screen.
Okay.
So I was asking for some help. That's why
Oh, okay.
I had the mic muted.
Salaki, I don't know. Salaki. You doing all right, man?
God, man, just taking care of these puppies, man.
God, yeah. So that's like having children, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, man. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't want first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for being on this live tonight. Our praises to Yahweh, His Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. We're gonna do conspiracy too. We started last week. I never got to this book, okay? But tonight we get into this book. All right. But I want to open up with a couple things first. All right. Like I always do, you gotta give me 1 Peter 4 and 11. 1 Peter 4 and 11. Right? Because we got to speak according to this word, man. Got to speak according to God's word. And if we're not speaking according to God's word, you know what I'm saying? It's a lie. Pretty much. You know? It's a lie. So read that for me, I don't want.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which the Most High giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Hamashiach Yahushai, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
So through Hamashiach Yahushai, the Most High has to be glorified. Hamashiach Yahushai is the word. And remember, tonight, I'm not speaking to the advanced, if you call the Israelites. I'm speaking to those that are not Israel. Okay, so this class may be a little novice. Okay, but hopefully for those who are a little rusty, hey, this will help you out a little bit. Let's get up Proverbs 1 out of 1.
Down out of 1.
Proverbs 1 and read 1 through 7 out of 1, if you don't mind.
Down out of 1. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, starting at verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Yashala, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, To the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Stop right there. So this is about wisdom. You have to understand, to obtain wisdom, right? You're going to have to do this. Go down to number 7 out of 1.
Down on the 1. This is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
So the fear of the Lord. Give me 111 verse 10 Psalms out of 1. So the fear of the Lord. You're going to gain wisdom if you fear the Most High. Okay? That's the first thing you got to do. You got to start following the commandments of the Most High. You're going to prove that. Read 111 verse 10 out of 1.
God. This is book of Psalms chapter 111 verse 10. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
That do what?
His commandments.
That do his commandments, right?
His praise endureth forever.
See that? You got to be doing the commandments in order to receive the understanding of this Bible.
That's
When
right.
I first came into the truth, I was not doing the commandments. But he gave me enough, okay? Because when I started looking at videos and things like that, he said, yo, I'm gonna bring you in. But to get the understanding of the Bible, you got to have counsel. You got to have a lot of different things. But I'm going to give you enough to get you in. But now, you got to get under the wise counsel, right? And you got to be following my commandments. And I'm going to gain, you're going to keep gaining wisdom, okay? Which a lot of Christians say what? What do Christians say? Do not follow the commandments, right? You ain't got to follow the commandments. It's only 10. You know what I mean? Right? No, it's more than 10. But give me Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go to Apocrypha. A lot of y'all out there, I don't witness the Apocrypha in Christianity. They said it's not canon. All right? They say it's not canon, but it is. Because you have 400 years between Malachi and what? Matthew, right?
That's right.
About 400 years between them two. So where's that information at? Where's that history at? It's right here. It's inside of the Apocrypha. All right? So give me Wisdom of Solomon. Just start at 1. All right?
Another 1. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, starting at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Most High with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For froward thoughts separate from the Most High.
From what?
Froward thoughts separate from the Most High.
From forward thoughts. Let me see. I'm going to show you how that goes with Christianity. Forward thoughts, right? Let's look at that. Let's look at that word forward. Difficult forward, dictionary, right? And it means difficult to deal with, contrary. That's the Christian church all day long. It's difficult to deal with them. They have an attitude, right? They don't want to learn nothing. Our mom, she goes to church faithfully. It's hard to deal with her. They don't want to hear it. Oh, God is good. That's all he is good. He just love. God is love. God is love. That's not true. He has every emotion that you have. Because if he doesn't, you have more power than the Most High. Right? So read on another one.
Another 1. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 3. For froward thoughts separate from the Most High, and his power, when it is tried, proveth the unwise. So, let me read that again, King. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 3. For forward thoughts separate from the Most High and his power, and it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
Read.
Into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Subject unto sin. Who's subject unto sin? The Christian church. They're subject unto sin. That's why they have a malicious soul. Let me get some synonyms. First, let me give you the definition of malicious. Characterized by malice, intending or intended to do harm. Right? And then I have some synonyms down here. Spiteful, poisonous, hostile, bitter, hurtful, mischievous, cruel, unkind, defamatory, bitchy, catty. You know what I'm saying? That's their soul. They so angry when an Israelite come around try to instill in them, okay, what the true meaning of this Bible is. In church, I used to go to church. You hear, cuss words and all these different things, man. I mean, they're very angry, right? So it's not. It's just a malicious soul. Period. Okay, they're out of their minds when they're up in the Christian church. All right, let's go to Isaiah 45 right quick. Because they always say God is good, he's good, and this and that, right? Let's go there.
Verse 1.
Now 45 and verse 7.
Count out of 1. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, starting at verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Salah. Let me turn this phone on.
So it says, I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace and create evil. No, the devil, he creates evil. He's the one that creates evil. See that? They don't know the Most High. They think they do, but they don't know the Most High. Period. Okay? Because they think that he's just all good. No, he's evil too. Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Then I'm going to get into this book right here. All right? I'm going to get into this book. I just want to prove a point. Okay? That our God is not just a loving God. When we disobey, just like your father do, when you disobey, guess what? You get punished. You get punished, just like our Father is. Our Father he's going to punish you. Period. So read that for me.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no power with me.
See, that's important right there. Hold on. There's no power that's with him. There's no God. There's no other God. If you believe in this Bible right here, there's no other God. But Christians believe in another God because they say he's just this loving person. They don't understand that the Most High brings evil too. Okay? That's every emotion that you have, plus some. Read that again. I don't want from the top.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal.
He wounds and he heals. The God of this Bible. I don't know what other Bible you are reading, you Christians, but this Bible, this God here in this Bible, He wounds and he heals. All right. So let's get into this book.
Let me
Right.
finish it out.
Let's get
And
into it.
neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Okay. Fine. Nobody can deliver you out of his hand. When he says death, that's what he means. Death. Can nobody come and save you? So when everybody dying from COVID and all these different things, that's the Most High's judgment. That's what your life is set already. You can't change that. Everybody talking about how I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this and that and watch me do this. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that because you don't know what's ahead of you. You just gotta live, man, and pray. Okay, so let's start this book because I really want to get to this book. I just want to get those out because what this guy, Jawanza Kanjufu, right? He changed his name. He's actually an American, a Black American. He's actually African American, so-called African American, but he changed his name because I looked him up. He changed his name. His father told him to get into these studies and all this different stuff, right? So he started to study what's going on in the society. So let me start here in this chapter here, right? The first one, right? It says genocide, the deliberate and systematic destruction of a racial, political, or cultural group. To use the word conspiracy to describe certain aspects of our society is a strong indictment against the social fabric of this country, not only this country, but North, Central, South America, and abroad, right? As a white man, it's all over, right? He's controlling the earth right now, right? He's controlling the earth. So it says, I have been challenged hundreds of times in debates and by media with the use of the word conspiracy. Many of the challengers want me to document who were the plotters of this conspiracy. Where was the meeting and when did it take place? I smile and listen to their barrage and remain confident in knowing, as Neely Fuller stated, until you understand white supremacy, everything else will confuse you. I then began to ask them several questions. So this guy has no knowledge of the Bible whatsoever, but he understands what white supremacy is. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15 right quick. You don't understand that that's prophetic in this Bible. White supremacy is prophetic in this Bible, right? It's going to happen, okay? And he has no clue that this is in here, but he wrote this book, right? Read that, other one.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay. All these commandments, all these curses is going to overcome you, right? All these curses. The Most High has to repeat himself rather. Okay. And I'm gonna go to Leviticus, the 26th chapter, because in Deuteronomy, those are the curses. They're more, I guess you could say, specific, whatever. But I'm gonna go to Leviticus, the 26th chapter, right? And I'm gonna read this, right? It says, "And if ye walk contrary unto me," which meaning the same thing in Deuteronomy 28:15. If you walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. Okay? And it says, I will also send wild beasts. See, a Christian will look at that and say, oh, that literally means beasts. Literally. Well, listen to this. It says, I will send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children. I don't never seen a beast rob nobody. You talking about animals and things like that. I ain't seen no. Give me Ecclesiastes right quick so I can prove that that's talking about man. Ecclesiastes, right? And go to see, this is milk for the Israelites. We know these things. I'm not talking to y'all though. I'm talking to the Christians tonight. The so-called Christians, rather. Give me Ecclesiastes Shalaki. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3, verse 18.
Count out of one. This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 18. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
That they themselves are beasts. He said men are beasts. Sons of men, we can get into that later, but he said men are beasts, right? So he's talking about man because only a man can rob you, right? And it says, and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And if ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me. So the Most High always warned us if we did not do what he said do, we're gonna go into slavery. That's how he communicate with us. We're going into slavery. We're gonna be a people is going to be put over us and going to be a so-called sword. Okay, he's going to be over us, dominating us because we are the children of Israel. We're supposed to be on top. Okay, we're supposed to be up high, not down low. But give me what I want. Give me Deuteronomy 28:43 and just hold that, Adawan. So I'm gonna keep reading out this book. I want to get into some more things, but I'm not going to go there tonight. I'm just going to leave it alone. No, actually, give me Obadiah, the first chapter. No, there's only one book. But give me Obadiah. Start at the first verse, my fault. It says, can you explain, right, how less than 10% of the world's population, which is white, own over 70% of the world's wealth? Can you explain how every United States president has been a white man? Okay, it says, is there a relationship between Africans being labeled 3/5 of a person and their median income being that same fraction in comparison to whites? That is prophecy, man. All of this is prophecy. Let's go back up to 1. Can you explain how less than 10% of the world's population, which is white, own over 70% of the world's wealth? Obadiah 1. Give me that.
The book of Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Most High Yahweh concerning Edom. We have learned a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
I've made you what?
I have made thee small among the heathen.
That's right there.
Though
So stop
thou
right there.
art,
Stop right there. It says, behold, I have made thee small. He's talking about who? Edom. Who was Edom? We should, who was who? You got to read the Old Testament to get the understanding of the New Testament. Period. Who was Edom? Give me Genesis 25, I don't want. Give me Genesis 25. You have to understand the old to get the new. If we all came from quote unquote Adam, we have to be in the Old Testament. Nations came out of the Old Testament. We are not African. We are the children of Israel, and it's going to be proven. Okay? Give me 25 and give me 21.
Count out of one. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife
Mm-hmm.
because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb,
Mm-hmm.
and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
So start right there. Instead of first came out red. Who call themselves rednecks? White man. Right? The so-called white man call himself a redneck. Gone out soft, red. Redneck this, redneck that, right? Go to 27.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning, Salah. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Esau was a what?
A cunning hunter.
Read on.
A man of the field.
A man of the field. Now you ask yourself, see, the Most High gives you clues and things like that inside of the Bible so that you can use your mind sometimes. He can't just give you outright everything because they would have took everything out the Bible and switched it up. There's clues inside of the Bible. The Most High used metaphors, just like Genesis, the snake, right? Everybody think that snake that's in Christianity is a literal snake, and it's not. That's talking about a human. You never seen a snake talk. That's talking about a human being. The Most High uses metaphors just like we talk. We the only ones that can understand metaphors, right? I don't want. Am I wrong about that?
That's
When
true.
we rap, who's the first one that understand that language when they be rapping in metaphors and things like that? We do. Fat. Remember we used to say fat, P-H-A-T,
Right.
pretty hot and tempting. You know what I'm saying? Or we describe something as being fat. Oh man, that's nice, bro. That's fat. You know,
Hey, you can go all the way back to when we used to say bad,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it just paraphrasing Run DMC, it wasn't bad meaning bad, it was bad meaning
Bad
good.
meaning good. There you go. God.
That's the way we speak, and we don't even take into account that this Bible is written in slang.
All day long.
So a lot of
All day
areas
long.
the Bible is written in slang.
Mm-hmm.
Metaphors, the same way you would, in Genesis when he was talking about the serpent. I mean, it's the same way you might have a partner and you or not your partner, but someone and you call him, oh man, that guy, he's a snake.
Yeah.
Don't deal with him, he's a snake.
Kind. There you go.
Or I hear brothers in New York all the time say, oh, he a bird.
Right.
Right?
Kind. Oh, chicken head. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way we speak.
That's the way
Or
we speak.
what is 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's a rat.
Right. Kind. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we talk. And that's how this Bible was made up. Because he know he didn't give that knowledge to everybody. He only gave it to the Israelites. We have to bring that out for other people to understand. Like right now, that's the white man is saying what? That's tight. That's dope. That's light. They don't understand, man. They don't get into later. They gotta really think about what it is that they're talking about. What is this?
And think about it, man. As Hebrews, we'll switch up the meaning real quick. Like
Real quick.
you used to say, that's tight, which means that it was something attractive or something that we like.
Right.
But now you say I'm tight, meaning like I'm pissed off or I'm angry.
Right. I'm pissed. There you go. God.
It comes
Right.
down to the context that you're using it in.
Mhm.
You know, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and you know, I'm pretty sure it's a common term other places, but we got one term which is, you know, you good, and it depends on how you saying it
Right.
to what it means.
Right.
You know,
God.
if I say, hey, you good, I could be asking, hey man, you all right?
Right.
Or I could say, you good, man? Meaning like, what's your problem?
It's about context.
Or I could say, man, you good.
Right. It's about context.
Right.
No doubt about that. That's right. See? And people don't understand that, man. You don't understand this book. That's why you have to be, that's why I brought up Proverbs 1. You got to be underneath wise counsel. Because I was lost too. I was in the sauce out there.
Yeah.
I used to go to church and hallelujah, this and that, right? Ain't nothing changed in my life. I ain't changed. But when I came into the truth, I tried to, keep the commandments. I tried. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep the commandments. That's what changes you, right? Black people got to understand too. If we want to get together, we have to get underneath a contract. This is a contract. This contract tells you to love your brother. Okay? Don't do this and don't do that. Thou shalt not do this and thou shalt not do that. All of that. We have to be underneath a contract. That's the only way you're gonna get together if we sign that contract and say, man, I'm not gonna do this to my brother because I love my brother. You just can't say, whoa, we just gonna get together. That's not gonna happen. Well, let's move on.
If I may be heard, I don't want.
Go ahead, Alan.
Um, just like you said, in order for us as so-called African American, so-called black people, you know, the only way that we can get together is under the Constitution of the Bible. This Bible is our Constitution. You know,
Right.
even when you go into, Esau's court,
Mhm.
he has everyone swear on the book of our laws, statutes, and commandments,
Right.
even though they don't maintain it. But they know that the Bible is the foundation of civilization
Mm-hmm.
because there's rules here.
That's right.
And us as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the only way that we can come together in unity is that we have to come together under a common structure, which would be our let's see, what would you call it? It's a lot. It slipped my mind. But we have to come under the banner of one solid foundation, which would be, our customs.
There you go.
So what is our customs? The Hispanics, they speak Spanish, but that's not their language because the Spaniards don't even speak Spanish.
Hmm.
They speak a language called Castilian.
Mm.
So that's the reason why they say it's Spanish, the same way when we rebuke the Jewish, because it's something similar to what
Gone.
Hispanics speak.
Gone.
So we have to come under our customs. We have to learn what our customs are. Our customs are not rap music. That's not rap music is not our culture. That's the word I'm looking for.
At
Our
all. Our culture, our heritage. Right.
our heritage.
Right.
You know, you got Arabs, they come to America, make a living, they dress like Americans do, but when they go home to their homeland, or even when they go into their homes, they have their garments that they dress in, they have their language that they speak, they have their food that they eat, they have their way of worship and praise. That's their culture. So we have to come back to the law, statutes, commandments, our heritage, which is our culture, and that's the
Right.
only way we can unify and advance as a nation.
As a nation. That's right. And the thing about it is, in anything that you do, you have a head, right? Like if you have a company, you got a head person in that, right? Then you got a person underneath, right? And then you got all those workers, just like in the household. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Just bring something out, otherwise I gotta get it. I gotta get it. 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. Right? You got to have order. The Most High is about order. Okay? The Most High is about order. That's why if you look in the Levitical laws, you should see how they have to keep a certain feast day and what they have to bring. And it has to be this way, it has to be that way, it has to be precise this way. But black people right now, we are out of order. We're out of order because who made it that way? The wicked made it that way. The Most High calls this person the wicked that we just got done reading about in Genesis. Read that, Adawan. Read that for me.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, start at verse 1.
Mhm.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them unto you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach Yahushua,
Con. Read on.
and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh.
See, and stop right there. The thing about it is, a lot of our women get mad about that because they've been taught, don't keep no man over you, don't keep no man. But if you look at every nation, if you look at every nation, other than ours, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because our women out here shaking their head. You ain't telling me nothing. Everybody else, big women ain't shaking their head like that. They let that man be in charge. Period. Just like in the voting, right? When they wanted to vote, Hillary Clinton was running, but the white people went out there and voted for what? A man, because they know a woman, right? The woman is kind of emotional, and it's not to get on the system, because that's how the Most High made you. You are emotional. You make
Salak,
decisions drastically.
let me say this since you spoke on Hillary Clinton. Now think about it. The majority of the voters who went for Hillary Clinton was who? It was our people. It was black people.
God.
Because we're the ones that don't understand the order of things.
But
Her
who's voting though? Who's voting though?
I mean,
Women. A lot of women are voting, right?
even the men in our community. You got to
I
understand.
get that.
The men in our community, they'll tell you that the black woman is God. So if the black woman is God, what you think the white woman is to him?
Right.
You got to be above God. If
Right. You gotta be above God. Right. That's right.
you don't understand
That's
that.
exactly right, Adawan. Exactly right. See, and that's how we think as a people, man. And who made us this way though? We have to understand who made us this way. Who made us think like this? They tell you to go get that thing in your arm, and you just do what? Okay, whatever you say. You know what I'm saying? Who made us this way? It's crazy. But let's get back to this book, man. We getting off track. We can talk all day. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. We vibe like that. But I want you to get Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Right? It says, "Is there a relationship between Africans being labeled 3/5 of a person and their median income being the same fraction in comparison to whites?" Right? Get this off my screen. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 43.
Kind
Get
of
that
the
right
one.
quick.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43.
Mm-hmm.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high,
Mm-hmm.
and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
See that? See that? This book right here, right? This is a man that's not in the truth. He don't know anything about the truth. Nothing.
Let me say this out of one. Uh, just like the scriptures say, you have a zeal, you have a
Done.
zeal, but not with knowledge. There's some things that are just in our spirit.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Speak on it. Speak on
There's
it.
some,
Yep.
there's understanding that's just in our spirit. We may
Mm.
not know uh, that we're supposed to keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, but even in our daily walk, not knowing anything about this Bible, we do it because that's a part of our DNA as the children of the Most High.
Con.
It's just in us. So just that man, he doesn't have the knowledge, but the spirit and the zeal that's in him. Like
He
we say,
sees.
you could tell who's Israel by their spirit.
Mm-hmm. He sees it, right? There you go.
So it's within his spirit that he
Mm-hmm.
feels this way.
Right. Right.
So,
Exactly.
but the brother's confused. He's attaching to a Hamite because he's been told he was Ham.
There you go. There you go. And I looked at his biography, and his dad, I think his dad might have been dabbling into the Egyptology stuff, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But the fact is, because that's why they allow him to change his name, because his mom and dad last name is Brown, right? It's Brown. So they allow him to change his name and dabble into this stuff, you know what I mean? So, and you're right, it's the spirit, right? It's the spirit that reckons with our spirit, you know what I mean? And with the Most High, you know what I mean? So, all praise to the Most High that we are in this truth and we know though. You know what I mean? We know this. All right. And it tells you right here, it says, "Is there a relationship between Africans being labeled 3/5 of a person and their median income being the same fraction in comparison to whites?" The Most High laid that law down. He laid that curse down. Okay. Not law, but curse. He laid that curse down to show us who we are. Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 64, I think it is. 64. 64, right?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth unto the other, even
That's not
unto
what I want. It's not what I want. 28 and I want the one to be a sign. But there's a sign. Is that 40? Oh, there it is. 46. Select it. 46.
another one. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start at verse 45.
I was
Moreover, all
backwards.
these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his.
Select it. 46. 46.
I'm out of one. I'm getting there.
Okay.
And his
Good.
statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder and upon thy seed forever.
My fault, Salaki.
No, I don't think you heard me. I said I was
Okay.
at 45 for the content.
Okay, my bad. I didn't hear you. My bad. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So this is how we know that we are Israel. When we read this book, right? When we read this book, we can see that this is speaking about us. We understand metaphors. We understand parables. Okay? We understand that these curses upon us, all these curses that you read in 28, 26, 33, everywhere that describes us, right? 14, not 33, Deuteronomy 30, 33, not it's Deuteronomy 14, I think it is. Those curses, most times they have to be repetitive, man, because we what? Give me Isaiah 30 right quick. Because we stubborn, man. We hard-headed. So the Most High has to say things over and over and over again for it to get into your head. Okay? Isaiah 30.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30. Woe to the rebellious children.
To the who?
To the rebellious children.
Read on.
Say of the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
Take counsel, right, of not of him. Read.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
See? Read on.
That they may add sin to sin.
See that? Read on.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
See, stop right there. We don't understand that this is spiritual Egypt. See, and that's something that you got to get into counsel and learn this book about. This is spiritual Egypt, right? A lot of Christians don't understand that. They will not get that. So you Christians out there that's listening and want to learn, you need to get under wise counsel, as Proverbs 1 says. You got to get under wise counsel to understand this book. Period. So read that again, Adawan. Start from the top, the 3.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
2. Start at 2. My fault. Shalaki.
Adawan. Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
You trust in the Pharaoh. What's a Pharaoh? A Pharaoh is what? A leader. You trust in that Pharaoh. Who's that Pharaoh today? Biden. You trust in him. What Biden say? Biden said, go out and get that thing in your arm. You better do it. And guess what we do? Okay, we're going to go out and do it. No problem. We're going to do it. See? We trust in the Pharaoh, man, instead of trusting in who? Give me Jeremiah 17:9 right quick. Jeremiah 17:9. That's how you know the Bible, man. You gotta, when I was in your position, you Christians, I did not know nothing. Nobody taught me anything. When I came into this truth, I went underneath wise counsel. And I learned. I started reading the Bible. Okay? I started reading it. But get that for me. Shalakia. Go to 17 and 5.
17 and 5. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. Thus saith the Most High, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
You trusted in who?
That trusteth in man.
Read.
And maketh flesh his arm.
And make flesh his arm. Read.
And whose heart departeth from Yahweh.
And whose heart departeth from who?
From Yahweh.
From Yahweh. Okay? A lot of Christians, You don't even know who Yahweh is. You like, who's that? Is that that's a different God? We say Yahweh, they be going crazy. I'm telling you. I've been saying that so many times. They don't know what that means. You know, and to a certain degree, it's not funny. It really ain't. It really ain't funny because we want our people to come into this truth. We want them to understand, right? And they trust in a God which is biting. The Most I said, don't put no other God before me. That's the first commandment in Exodus 20, right? Ain't that the 10 Commandments?
Done.
They said, don't put no other God before me. That's the first one. What you do, you go out and you put another God before this. This is the God right here in the side of this book. That's what y'all do. It's just crazy. But let's go back into this book here. Thank you, Anwan. Appreciate that. Uh, I'm gonna read on. It says, "Is there a relationship between Africans being labeled?" We just went through this. 3/5 of a person and their median income being the same fraction in comparison to whites. Why did some whites feel the need to physically castrate African American males? Give me Hebrews 12 and 16. Hey, listen, the reason why I brought up Genesis 25, because you gotta know who you're dealing with. You gotta know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with your enemy. You're dealing with your enemy, right? Hebrews 12 and 16.
It's the
They
book of
physically
Hebrews.
castrated African American males. Okay? Read on.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 16.
Mhm.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Stop right there. Esau, Edom is the same people. Idumea, Edomites, same people. Read.
For one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
See that? He's mad now that he sold his birthright. Most High is gonna give him. Well, I ain't gonna say that. The fact is, the fact is this because he always gonna give it. It was instilled to give it to us because he made us special. All right, it was not meant to be for Israel, and God can do whatever He want to do. Yahweh can do whatever He want to do. If people get mad about that, now God ain't. He didn't tell him the trick or this and that. Uh, the Esau and this and that. Come on, man. Most I can do what He want to do. That's what it is. He told him to go in there and tell him to do this. He told Rebecca, to go in and do that. Okay, you can't get mad at the Most High. If that's what He said. That's what He wanted to happen. He wanted Israelites to be the chosen people. That's it. Bottom line, right? If you go back to the Old Testament, for those who don't know in Christianity, Genesis 25, you have to go back and read and understand what took place. Mosai chose a nation, the Israelites. Okay? So I just want to get that out there. The whites feel the need to physically castrate African American males, Hebrews 12 and 16. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 61. I'm gonna read this next sentence here. It says, "What was it an accident that all the men that constituted the Tuskegee experiment were African Americans and they possessed syphilis and went untreated by the U.S. Center for Disease Control for 40 years? Was it an incident? Was it an incident?"
Shall I get 1 second, King?
Go ahead, other one.
Read that one more time.
It says, "Was it an accident that all the men that constituted the Tuskegee experiment were African American and they possessed syphilis and went untreated by the U.S. Center for Disease Control for 40 years.
All right, check this out. I just want you to read that again.
Mhm.
That's the same Center of Disease Control that didn't treat these men is the CDC.
Mm.
They keep speaking of today that's telling the same group of people that they need to get the jab.
The jab, right?
The exact same organization.
Same one.
That organization back then gave Israelite men syphilis. Through what what method was it? The same method that they're telling us to use today. You know, it's just hard for me to understand how somebody that hates you gonna create something to save you.
Kind of one.
It don't make
That
sense
put
to
you in
me.
slavery, right? That
I
burned
mean,
your bodies. That took a whip and just start beating the hell out of you, right?
and we could bring it up to the day, you know, that'll lean on your neck for 9 minutes.
Man. And
But
shoot
he
you in
said,
your
hey,
back.
I gotta do something to help you live.
Man. Crazy, right? What makes you think that they tell you the flu or the whatever is inside of this thing, this needle, and we're gonna put it into you, right? We're gonna put that in you, we're gonna put that jab in you. What kind of sense will make you walk in that line to get that? I'm putting this in you. I'm gonna put it in you. Does that make sense? Does it? Think about that. They
It's a
tell
lot.
you, oh, this is in here. That's to help you out with your immune system.
Hey, check this out though. Didn't the general just pass away and he was
Right,
fully vaccinated?
right. I got a brother right now that's in on his deathbed that I've been knowing for years that then took that. Why would you want to put something in you that's not supposed to be up in you? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Are you a healthy young person, but you're gonna put that up in you, man? That don't make sense at all. I'm healthy. Why would I want to put something in me that's foreign? That don't make sense. I had to come out of that when I used to be a smoker. I used to smoke. I should be putting no foreign stuff inside this body, man. This is my temple, man. You know what I mean? Why would I put that in me? That's what they want. They want you to be unhealthy. They want you to be that way. So they can weaken you and kill you off. That's what they want. It's crazy. 40 years ago, this has happened 40 years ago, is what this man said. Fifth syphilis, the skins, and we still haven't learned. What kind of people are we, man? Are we stupid? No, we're the smartest people in the world. Supposedly, we invented everything. I got a book right here. It says right here, right? Read this right here. What does it say? Black people invented everything. All right. We are the smartest people in the world. The Most High has given us that. He has given us that. We are intelligent. And it's crazy how we think though. We are ignorant to the fact. We are. It's crazy. But the water for that. You got anything else to say, Ottawa?
I got a precept.
Go ahead, Ottawa.
Let me go to the book of Exodus real quick. Go to Exodus chapter 1.
I might have to do a class a number 3, man. But I don't know if I'm gonna get through this. You know what I mean? Because it's coming to us. So I might have to do A conspiracy 3. But go ahead, I don't want.
Just speaking, according to all of the crafty counsel that's going on, like you say, we so quick to follow and to jump into whatever our oppressor tell us to do. We so quick to do it because we feel like that's the right thing to do. They're smarter than us, not understanding the crafty counsel that we've been going through, but from the mind state, of our oppressor, it goes all the way back.
Psalms 83.
So I want to go to Exodus chapter 1. I'm gonna read verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start at verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them,
Man.
lest they multiply.
Yep.
And come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemy and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasured cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But this is right into connection with the same line of thinking or the thought process that they have today.
Right.
They've tried every other thing that they can think of.
Right.
They speak about, okay, this is a virus. Okay. Well, they also gave us a virus 40 years ago, HIV, right?
Right. Right.
In order to keep us from multiplying.
Right.
Hasn't stopped us.
Right.
We still out multiplying.
And that's their agenda, right? Ain't that their agenda?
Yeah. So
keep us from multiplying.
So what happened next? The drugs in the community still multiplying.
Yep.
Stronger than them.
Can't
they
stop
tell us what? They've been telling us for years. Use a condom, use a condom, use a condom. Why? So that you can't multiply.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then they give you drugs, alcohol, poisonous foods.
Yep.
Now what are they pushing? Homosexuality. You can't reproduce if you with the same sex.
Con.
Right?
Yep. Bad health.
Now what? Oh, you got it. Oh man, if you put this mask on, damage your respiratory system.
Right.
Because you can't breathe in, you're breathing in carbon monoxide. You see that?
Yep.
So the same line of thinking that they have today, that's in the Bible. There's no new thing under the sun.
It's in the Bible. Get that.
It's still here.
Get that right quick.
Right?
Get that verse. Ecclesiastes. Get that right quick, because we got to bring it out, man. Because we got to teach those who don't know. We got to teach those who don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? This Bible speaks, man. This is the book of life. Basic instructions before leaving earth, man. All day long. This is the book of life, for real. Straight up. Ecclesiastes. What is it? 1 and...
Thought it was 10, so it's 1.
Yep. Yep. Go start at 9.
God, so book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Just start right there, though. If you look at Washington, if you look at Las Vegas, everything you see is what? Egyptian, right? Roman era, Babylonian, everything. You think they have not read this book, you think they haven't read history? They think they got it figured out, though. See, that's the thing. They think they got it all figured out. No, the Most High got you figured out. To think that you gonna win, you're not gonna win in the end. Your kingdom is falling fast. Period. It's falling. Read on out of one.
Verse 10. Is there any new thing whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Which was what?
Before us.
It was before us. That's why you Christians have to read the Old Testament so you can understand that there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Period. So let's get back to this book. Right? I want you to give me Zechariah 11:5. Right? So I'm gonna start at that. Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Right? It says, what it an accident that all men that constituted the Tuskegee experiment, because it was talking about different diseases in Deuteronomy 28:61, right? He says, word, and that's of the Most High. The Most High put this on us. See, we got to understand who's in charge here. The Most High is in charge. What? 1 second. Give me Isaiah 45:5 so we can understand. Right? Who's in charge here? Isaiah 45:5. Who's the ultimate person that's in charge here? And yes, he punishes children just like your father or your mother may punish you, put you on what? Time out, whoop your behind part. I remember my mom used to go out and get switches. My mother. My dad was around. Guess what? We'd get whooped with that belt bad. Read that on one.
This is Isaiah 45 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
Shalakia. Isaiah 45 and 5.
Oh, Salak, that was verse 4. Okay, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power beside me.
There's no what?
No power besides me.
There's no other God. Power means, which I'll say God today, right? There's no other God beside him. There's no other power beside him. Read.
I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me.
There's none. Read.
I am the Lord.
I am who?
There is none else. I am the Lord.
I am the Lord, and there is none else. People will say, oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ ain't never said that he was a Lord. Never in the New Testament. But that's a whole different story. We're not going to go there. So he said there's no other God beside me. You Christians, you got the misunderstanding of the scriptures, man. I read to you that he kills, and he makes alive, and he wounds, and he heals. And in this book that I'm giving you today, which I may have to go to a lesson number 3, right? The conspiracy to destroy black boys. The reason why we going through this, because why? We disobeyed the Most High. We disobeyed his commandments. Bottom line. Go to Zechariah 11:5. You get that? Zechariah 11:5. Let me read this right quick. In 6, it says, is it ironic that only 2 white persons have ever received the death penalty for killing an African American? Right? And it's in number 7, it says, Are the videotapes of racial discrimination as shown on national television in housing, banking, employment, and shopping a figment of our imagination? Is it a figment of our imagination? Because we lack in housing, banking, employment, and shopping? No. The death penalty for killing an African American. White persons have ever received the death penalty for killing an African American, which we mean it's Israelites. Give me Zechariah 11:5.
God, it's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith Salah, whose possessors slay them.
So who's what?
Whose possessors slay them.
So then they possess us. Then they come to Africa and get us and put us on a ship and take us to this land. Then they take the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Latinos, and put them on ships and ship them to Spain and bring them back over here. They did not possess you. They possess you. That's history. Conquistadors. That's what y'all don't want to go back to. Because Snoop Dogg said, hey, forget about slavery. Forget about all that. Don't worry about that. Let's move forward. They taught them that. You're not supposed to forget your history because you're not going to know where you're going if you forget your history. You got to learn your history. Black man, black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Native American man, Native American woman. You got to learn your history, what happened to you. Wake up, man. Realize who you're dealing with. This is your enemy that you're dealing with. Period. Read that. I don't want to read on. Did you want to expound on something? Did you want to say something?
La.
Okay.
Zechariah 11, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Whose possessors slay them
Mm-hmm.
and hold themselves not guilty.
See, hold themselves not guilty. I just got done reading. White persons have ever received the death penalty for killing. It's like it is ironic that only 2 white persons have ever received the death penalty for killing an African American. Hold themselves back. This Bible speaks, man. You got to get into it. Read on.
Whose possessors slay them, hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
Tell me that's not the white man. Tell me that ain't the white man. He slayed us, and then he say, I am rich. You can't touch me. I'm rich. I got all this money. I can do what I want to do. That's basically what he's saying. I can do what I want to do. But the Most High put them over us, man, to do that. He put them over us to punish us. That's why I read Deuteronomy 28:15. You got to know who your enemy is. Give me Deuteronomy 28:68 right quick. Let's read that. Let's see if anybody can wake up off this.
Kind of the one. I got a precept too.
Go ahead, Adawan.
You want me to go?
You got one, bring it out.
You want Deuteronomy first?
No, go ahead. Bring yours out first. We can go to that.
I'm go to
read it.
Go to Ezekiel chapter 28 and get verse 23 for me.
Ezekiel, what you want?
Chapter 28.
28.
And give me verse. I believe it's verse 23. Let me see. Go start at verse 22.
28 and
verse 22.
22. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 22. And it reads, and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Zidon, and I will be glorified in the midst of thee, and they shall know that I am the Lord, which when I shall have executed judgments in her, and shall be sanctified in her.
So this is against the Hamites here, right?
Right.
But you know the scriptures are twofold as well. So we read verse 23, and you can see that this also applies to us here in this captivity as well.
Kind of one. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 23. For I will send into her pestilence.
Stop right there. So the same way when we were in Egypt, he sent the plagues into Egypt. That's exactly like you said earlier with us being in spiritual Egypt now. He's sending the plagues into Egypt, which would be what? All of these different viruses and diseases, right? That's what pestilence is, plagues and disease, right?
God.
Read on.
Ezekiel 28 and 23. For I will send into her pestilence and blood into her streets, and the wounded shall be judged in the midst of her by the sword upon her on every side, and they shall know that I am Yahweh.
So this is the same way that he's going to send all of this blood through the streets of spiritual Babylon and Egypt right now. But the wickedness of the Edomites are the ones that are trying to focus as hard as they can to make sure that we get the worst of it.
And remember that sword, though. Remember that sword.
That's right.
That sword is very important. That sword is very important. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and bring that out. But I want to get one verse. I want you to get Genesis 27 and 40. But I want to bring this out because he said the scriptures are twofold. They're twofold. They mean have two different meanings, right? This is Job 11 and 6. It says, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom. Who's going to show you the secrets of wisdom?
The Most High.
The Most High going to show you the secrets of wisdom. That they are double. Double. So he said two. Zion bring it out. He said it's twofold, right? That they are double to that which is to those that he's going to show it to, period. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I'm going to show them this because they got to have the understanding. My prophets, you know what I'm saying? The people that have awakened, I'm going to show them the double meaning and this and that, right? And it says, and the elders that's been in the truth since 69. You know what I mean? They've been in longer than that. Somebody had to know the truth since day one. Somebody had to. They had to. Period. And it brought it all the way up to where we at today, which is 2021. And it says, know therefore that Yahweh exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. Okay. My brother, come back. Give me let's see who the sword is. The Most High put the sword in the hand. Genesis 27 and 40. We talked about the sword all day. Who's the sword? Today.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
So who say what now?
Let me read up to get the context.
Go ahead.
Salaki.
38.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 38. This is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling place, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Stop right there. Stop. Where's Esau at? All over. The fatness of the earth. When you fat, you all over, ain't you?
And you're in the best places.
You're in the best places and everything, right?
You got the best real estate.
Everything. You living by the water where it's calm at, and you're living a good life, right? So who's doing that? Everywhere they go, they get the fatness of the earth. That's what they do. So who's doing that? That's what you got to understand. Who is doing that? Who's getting the fatness of the earth? Who's everywhere? Read on another one.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
Mm.
And by thy sword.
You buy that what?
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Hold on for a minute. Just wait a minute for a minute. We're gonna have to get a 3, man. I already know we're gonna have to get a 3. So I'm about to end it. Sword, right? Let's look at sword. Sword and what is meaning. Right? It says, hold on, it's locked here. That's the one. Sword, right? It says here, a weapon with a long metal blade and a hilt with a handguard, used for thrusting or striking, and no typically sworn as part of ceremonial dress, right? A lot of people say, oh, that's the Arabs. That's the Arabs. The Arabs live by the sword. Because they seen a couple videos with they chopping people's head off and this and that, right? Right. But it says literary, which means literally. Literary means literal, right? Does literary means literal? Right? Military power, violence, or destruction. That's what it means. If it's saying literal, it means military power, violence, or destruction. Literally. That's what it means. Who has the military power? Who goes around the earth destroying kingdoms? Arabs, they destroy them all the time. Throw a bomb anywhere they want to. Hiroshima, they bomb them, no consequences. Nothing happened to them, right? Then it says violence. Who's the most violent people on the earth, bro? Think about it. Who's the most violent people on earth? Is it black people? We don't compare to the Caucasian race. They go around the world murdering and killing, right? And it says destruction. Who destroys things? You got animals that are distinct because of this person. They destroy everything. They bombed 1942. They bombed what? Oklahoma. When we was trying to come up out of slavery and do for ourselves. What they do? Oh,
Philadelphia also.
Philadelphia, Rosewood, Chicago, Detroit, all these different places. Watts, all these different places. What they do? They came in and destroyed it. When we try to lift ourselves up, tomorrow, y'all need to lift yourselves up about your bootstraps. But we as black people, man, we are so lost and destroyed. Man. We destroyed.
I got a precept, King.
Go ahead, I don't want. I'm gonna end it with your
Matthew
precept.
11.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Matthew 11 real quick.
Matthew 11.
verse 12.
11, verse 12. Okay. That's another one. This is Matthew 11, verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence. God. And the violent take it by force.
So there's no new thing under the sun. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence.
Christian church will tell you that's talking about up here. Is that talking about up there? It's not, right? It ain't talking about the sky. But they'll say it's the sky. Ain't no war going on in the sky.
No, it's all in order up there.
Flat out. You dealing with the Most High. Most High ain't having no war up there. Come on. The devil is up there and getting war and all that. No. That's talking about here on earth, man. But read on. I mean, go ahead, Adama. My boy, my bad.
So the kingdom of heaven suffer violence.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know who and what the kingdom of heaven is, because it said that the violent took the kingdom of heaven by force. So we just give y'all one to think on. Who was taken by force?
No, you got to tell them otherwise, because Christians they're not gonna figure that out, bro. I'm gonna tell you that they're not gonna figure it out because their minds is not there yet. But if you just expound on that, if you expound on it and say, if you take something by force, okay, the kingdom of heaven was taken by force. That has to be a people, don't it? If something was taken by force, that's talking about a people. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely correct. Go ahead, tell them.
That's talking about Israel. Israel was taken by force. Was they not?
Not the land.
Not the land, the people was taken by force. And did what?
Violence. The violent took it by force, right? That's
so who's the violent?
We was building on who was violent, right?
Right.
Who's the most violent? Who are the violent? Who is the violent man?
Did I just not bring that out? Did I just not bring that out? He lived by the sword. That was Esau, right?
That's right.
I told you that 2740. He was a sword. And it tells you here, literally, military power, violence, or destruction. Matter of fact, let's get a Jew. Let's get a Jew. Malachi. You know what I want. Let's get a Jew right quick. And we see the Most High gave you descriptions of certain people in the Bible it's a sign, just like it's a sign for us in Deuteronomy 28. It's a sign for the white man also through these different things that we're bringing out right now. He lived by the sword. He's a cunning hunter. He's this and that. These are different signs. It's not just one verse to my he's red. It's signs. It's different things. You got to keep going. Just like in the court of law, you got to keep describing who this person is so you can get the full understanding so that person can be guilty without a reasonable doubt, right?
Done. You gotta just, you just gotta use the hints. You gotta take the hint.
There you go.
You gotta go into the characteristics and the description of what's being given to you. Mm-hmm. Because one issue with our people is we'll find any reason or excuse. We have what they call cognitive dissonance, which means I could show you the truth, but because it's something other than what you believe, you'll reject the truth.
God.
To just keep what you're comfortable with.
That's right.
Because you hear people, all the time will tell you, as you spoke earlier, you say that with Esau is the Arab. Why? Because of the land that they lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, South Africans is predominantly Caucasian.
Right.
So you telling me that they're Africans
Right.
because they live there?
Right. Eskimos is black.
You can go back 200 years here on the land of what we call North America, and the landscape of people that live here look completely different today than it did 200 years ago.
Con.
People migrate, they move around. Esau, he's a country hunter. He conquered lands.
That's right.
He set up his military base everywhere that he goes.
Con. And that's not just dealing with animals. That's dealing with people and everything. He hunts people. He
That's
goes
right.
out and he hunts people. I'm gonna take this land right here because I need this land right here because they got a lot of resources and things like that. He's a cunning hunter. Cunning. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That's what he do. White men is not fine. I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah.
We have to take the hints when it comes to certain things. Because just because it doesn't outright say it, they'd say, well, it don't say that. That's not what it say.
Right.
But neither does it say that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites.
Exactly.
Know that we are because of what? The hints.
History.
The history. The characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get that the same with all these other nations and understand who they are.
Man. That's just, it, hold on. I was looking up something, man, because you bring out something that was real deep right there, man.
Yeah, we just gotta, as the scriptures say, man, how long you simple ones gonna deal with simplicity. Paraphrase.
That's Proverbs 1:20. How long y'all gonna deal with that, man? How long y'all want to be in this captivity? How long you want to keep believing in this system that's done nothing but kill you or try to kill you, fire you from your job, keep you in poverty, all these different things. How long you want to continue to stay here inside of this damn captivity, man? Excuse my French, but it's mind-boggling when it comes to the blacks, Hispanics, and everything. They comfortable here, bro, because they can buy some Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and all these different things and think that's what it is. That's how life is. Oh, I'm doing good now. I got a Rolls Royce. I got this and that. No, nigga. Peace. Peace is heaven. Do you want peace? Do you want to wake up in the morning when you don't have to go get a jab? Or you don't have to worry about a gun killing your children? When you go to these white neighborhoods, what do they have? A bunch of peace. They don't have to worry about niggas standing on the corner. Or you walk into a store and a nigga looking at you and grilling you. They don't have to worry about those different things. Or their schools closing and diseases in your neighborhood and all these different. They don't have to worry about those things, man. We do though. Why would you want to continuously dwell in that, man? Why would you want to continuously go into that every day? Your daddy not around. Don't you supposed to have your father, the one that carries the seed in your home with your mama and they loving each other? Don't you want that? You see that in the white community. You see that all day. Going to your games and loving their son. Good job, son. Good job, daughter. Don't you want that? Our fathers are locked up, man, or dead. This. I don't understand our people, man. But I'm gonna end it right there. We got to have a 3 on this, man. Next week, tune in, man. Flat out. You gotta have it 3. Conspiracy against the black man and the sons, man. Because they know the young boys, they produce and they're the head of the house. They understand that because they done read what? This book right here. It's called the Bible. In Egypt, they did the same thing. My brother right here, he brought it out. They conspired against us with different things, man. So next week, tune in. 8:15. Anything else you want to say, Adawan? We're going to close it right here.
Lie.
Adawan. So with that, I want to give our praise to the Most High Power Yahweh by Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushai, and we log it out.
Shalom.
Shalom.